Hi everyone and welcome. This is the how-to teacher on how to do guided reading remotely. We still need to meet with those kiddos. We need to put text in front of them. We need to help them when they're struggling with words and give them the tools that they need to be successful readers. And I'm going to give you some tools on how we can do that remotely. So the first resource I want to give you is oxfordowl.co.uk. When you go to this website, you're going to need to join, and then you'll go ahead and you'll log in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And when you log in, the thing that you need to do is come over here to ebooks. So you'll go to ebooks. There's a lot of extra stuff if you scroll down. I'm not here for that. Less is more. I'm here for the ebooks. That's what I'm doing. That's my focus. So we're going to go ahead to the ebook library. And when we go to the ebook library, this library is full and full and full of books and stories. It's amazing. They even have a series with Kipper. So as you can see, we've got Kipper here. He's in a bunch of these series. Here he is right here too. So we've got nonfiction, we've got fiction, we've got series. So I absolutely love this library. If you want to search for levels, you can come up here. There's a drop down. We go to the Oxford level. I use this as my leveler. So levels 1 to 3-ish is first grade or kindergarten. I would use 4, 5, and 6 for first grade, I believe, but you'll just have to go and just see what your kids need. So what I would do is if I wanted to do a guided reading group, I would most likely be on a Zoom or some sort of video, and I would share my screen with the students. And what I would do while I'm sharing the screen is I would pick a book. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a level 4 book. There's 22 of them in here. And I'm going to do Painting the Loft. It's another Kipper book. So what I would do is I'd share the screen and I would just go on a picture walk. I would plant some words in there, some vocabulary. We would go over a few things. So we would just look through the book together, you know. Also, this is UK. So I would say, you know what? They don't call them mom, they call them mum. Okay, there might be some things like that in these books, or you can choose to not use a book that has that type of language. It's totally up to you, but it's really good for decoding. So what we would do is we would go through the book, just look at the pictures. I would probably point out some vocabulary, some tricky words, things like that. We would go to the beginning, and when we go back to the beginning, I would read the first page myself, or I would just tell students to start reading individually. So I would pick on one student and tell them to read page number 1. Then I would turn page, and who would read number 2, I would tell the student specifically who would read for us. So kind of like a round robin, we would take turns reading. And then I would probably have, a student that I could tell that was kind of struggling. I would pull that student aside and let everybody else leave and read with them one-on-one. So here's one idea that you can use for doing virtual, remote guided reading. Another resource is Fountas and Pinnell. If you are a Fountas and Pinnell building district, you guys use it, you've got the resources, then I highly suggest that you use some of these books as well. Things are going to be different when it comes to interventions and things like that. So I don't think it's a huge deal that maybe the kids might see this book twice. That's just me. Right now we're in a pandemic. We're just trying to get books in front of these kids. So here's what we can do. If your district uses Fountas and Pinnell, they should have some sort of login, and in the login, they most likely will have codes. So I've got access to all of these things. You need to reach out to your admin, your building coach, whoever it may be, to get the login information. When you get the login information, you want to make sure that you have the leveled literacy intervention kits. Right now, we don't care about phonics. We don't care about benchmark right now. We want the leveled literacy intervention. When you go to the LLI, leveled literacy intervention, you're going to choose whatever system that you have access to. So essentially, kindergarten through second grade would want this, and then third grade and up would want the blue and the red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of the systems that I have. I clicked on the green one. I'm going to come over here to LLI Books. When you come over to LLI Books and you scroll down, it's every single LLI book that has on a PDF, scanned, ready to read. So what I would do is I might pick The New Puppy. And again, I'm sharing my screen on Zoom. My kids are ready, and we're gonna walk through the book together. There are buttons at the bottom, so all you have to, oh, it's different on the iPad. So what we're gonna do is The New Puppy. Okay, and we're just gonna walk through the story. We're just walking through the story here, okay? So this is clearly a level A. This is beginner kindergarten for those of you who aren't sure. This is just the very beginning of reading. So this is more of a kindergarten book for those just starting to read new text. Maybe you're focusing on sight words. Maybe you're focusing on beginning sounds. Maybe you're focusing on looking at the picture to help you solve a word. Whatever it may be, use this resource if you can. This resource is amazing. The last resource I'm going to give you is this one here, and it's willbooks.com. And willbooks.com is another free resource where it has leveled books as well. So what we're going to do is when you get to the website, we're going to scroll down and we're going to go to guided reading. When you click on guided reading, it will take you to leveled books. So depending on what level you want, and it only goes up to level M, depending on what level you want, let's say, you know what, I want level D. I'm going to click on that, and it's got all of these level D stories and books that we can read. It's got nonfiction, it's got fiction, it's great. So let's just go ahead and pick a nonfiction book, Looking at Mammals. Okay? When we have Looking at Mammals, we'll go ahead, I'm so sorry about my dog, we'll go ahead and start reading the book together. Okay? You can also make it a whole page worth right here, and it's great for sharing the screen and turning the pages. Again, I'm sorry about my dog. So these are the resources that I have for you. I hope you found this helpful. We've got the Oxford Owl, we've got Fountas and Pinnell, and we've got Will Books. One thing that I want to say is when you're doing guided reading remotely, I highly suggest pulling larger groups. You're not at a small reading table where we typically only fit 4 to 5 kids and a reading group, but we have virtual where we can fit 6 kids in a group. Okay, so let's get more bang for our buck. I highly suggest a little bit larger group, giving them more exposure. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Go ahead and click the subscribe button so you get notifications when new videos come out, and give us a follow on the How To Teacher on Instagram, and have a great day.